Hello everybody, my name is Mayolo Juarez Fernandez. I'm doing this tutorial because in Devexpress Support Center there are many questions about the XtraReports with entity data source. I will show you a little trick to create a report designed in Windows Form application environment and translated to webforms.net. In this case, I will create a new project to show you how to do this translation. I will create a Devexpress Windows Form application. Right now I put it example report, and this example report tutorial translation, I will create this new project. I leave by default all the things. I will use the database Norwin. In this case, products is my main table to create the report. Well, right now the report will be created and the project is loaded everything. When the project is loaded, I will create a new folder named reports and one more named class. This new folder, in the class I will create another folder named data. In this folder data I will leave a new item. This new item is a data item, is Ado.NET entity data model. I put it the name of model Norwin. This model I will show you. We create a connection. In this case the connection will be to my local server and I choose Norwin database. Once the model is created, I put Norwin entities and I leave by default. I remove pluralize and include foreign columns. It's okay, but import store procedures I unmark. I choose every table in the model, put it finish, wait until the model is built. Once the model is built, I will build the application, build solution. Then the report, it will be added. Just right click on the folder, add new item. In this new item I will add a new report. This report is a report wizard. The name is report products. In this report I will show you how to add every item from the object data source and to be translated to the web form application. We will until the report is created and we start to design it. While the report is created, I will open a second window. This new window of Visual Studio, I will create a new project, but this time is a Devexpress web form application. Let me look. Here is Devexpress web application. This is example report web. Once the wizard is loaded in the desktop application, the other wizard for ASP.NET application is launched. Well, I will first design the report in the desktop application. I will put cancel, and from my toolbox I used to put a binding source. Just drop it on the report this binding source, I click on it, and in the field data source I choose add project data source. In this case will be an object because we have already built this object. I'm looking for the object from the entity data source. I just choose example report tutorial translation. In this case is class data. Don't forget, if you don't build your application, you will not see this part. You need to build the application first and then use the data source configuration wizard. This example report tutorial translation.class.data have all my entities from the model. I just choose products and then I click in finish. Once the wizard is created, once the binding source is configured, I choose design in report wizard. I choose a standard report, I click on it, I add all the things that I needed. In this case it's product name, quantity per unit, units in stock, unit price, unit in orders, and maybe let me see, discontinued. These fields are added. I will group my report by product name. In this case I put it in landscape and the distribution would be stepped. Click next and choose format and then finish. This report is a basic report that will show you in your project. We save all the things, we build the project, and then I just explore in the folder that the report is created. I go to open folder in File Explorer. I copy these 3 files. Look, right click over the folder, put it in open folder in File Explorer, choose these 3 objects, copy, and then go to the web application. In this case, this web application is a blank application by Devexpress. Right now I will choose a standard application. I will create the project, and in this standard application I will put all the files from the desktop application to create the new report. We wait until the project is created, and in this case we have a default page. I will just put it to make quickly. I also create a new folder. This folder will be reports, and in this folder I will right click in the folder and put paste. This report it's already created, but we need to modify a little to have the report working on web application. Look, I just put it paste, and I copy all the files from the Windows Phone application, and I will add in the default page, I will add a report viewer, where is Devexpress reporting. I will put a report viewer. In this report viewer I will choose a report from my menu. In this case, it's example report tutorial, reports report product. I choose the report, or I will put a num, just that you figure it that the report is available, but we need to specify the data source. I think could be impossible, but it's just to remove some lines from the menu, and the report will work in the web forms. The follow thing is trying to build the project. There was an error telling me that the system.windows are not found. Well, the thing that I need to do is to add comments to the lines that are not working here, or the lines, this binding source, and the last one is at the end, this and this one. Once the report it's modified, look for every line, you have your report ready. You just add the follow. I will add the entity data source connection, a new folder. In this case will be reports, class, and then inside this folder will be the folder data. Here is. In this folder I will add a new item, data item, add entity model. I will put it model Norwin. It's from a database, using my connection, having everything by default, removing pluralize and import, and check it all the tables. Then finish, and it's loading. Finally, in the page that have the report designer, I will put the code, the necessary code, to first to connect like Norwin entities. I add the reference connection, and initialize the object, and then I will make a query using linku from products q in connection punto products, where now just select all the products, select products, and this query will be the data source from the object. Right now you have kind of lines to create this report, and this report will be execute and show all the reports from the Windows form, and you could add this report without any problem. Well, right now the report will be in this case the name was let me check, report products, okay, and new report was equals to we reference the report equals to new report product, and this new report is an object to be created on the website. Okay, right now this report we have new report data source equals to query, and finally the report viewer dot report equals to new report, and we just execute the page and look at the results. Oh, let me check. Okay, this common error, I forget to put it new report dot to list no, it's not report, it's new report, sorry, and query to list. And by the way, this is the final step. We will have no problems. And then here's the report. Right now this report it was created in the Windows Form application and executed in a web form. We also have the toolbars from the report toolbar, and just put it and configure which is the report viewer 1, move the toolbar and also execute. We will wait, and this is the report with the toolbar working. Everything is fine, there is no problem in any way, and you can also create a PDF format. And this is a quickly way to design a report using system desktop environment. Check, this was designed in a desktop and just copy to the web forms. The secret here is to comment the 4 lines that are in the report designer file. This line, the binding source, the other line that its binding source begin in it, this other line, binding source 1, data source, and the final line is this one, this data source and component model. And don't forget to comment the declaration. This is everything to create a report quickly in a desktop environment and having to the web form application environment. For me, it was a trick that saved me a lot of time when my application is based on desktop and suddenly my client said, hey, make me a web application with the same reports that the desktop application have. And this one is a good way to create this report, and you will see that everything is working using just linku and the data source field from the report. One thing or one curious thing, never open the report in the web form environment, because if you open this report you will have a lot of errors to load in the report design and the report will not work any time. You just need to copy from the desktop application to the web form. Never open the file, just keep it at was pasted and modify the designer class to comment the necessary lines. This is everything for me. I think you will find this very useful when you are creating a desktop application. Thank you for everything and see you then the next tutorial.